Hey, hey! How are you? Hope you are doing good, had a good week. I am about to cook us some supper, and I want to make a Greek pasta salad. It's one of our favorite things. My friend Jennifer made it years ago, and we had it. I called her this afternoon. I said, Jen, I was looking for one of my favorite recipes, and it is one, but I wanted to make sure you were okay with me videoing it, because I've made it a ton of times, took it to a lot of places, and people just love it. So the first thing we'll do is I've got some water boiling over here, and I'm gonna drop some noodles, just regular thin spaghetti noodles, whichever ones you like. I tend to like these. I don't like it as much with the angel hair pasta. It's a little too small, like a bigger spaghetti noodle in this. So I've got 16 ounces. Got salted water over here, and as soon as that boils, I'm gonna drop these in, let them cook. I cook them for about 7 or 8 minutes, let them boil, and then I just turn the fire off and leave the lid on them. And don't overcook these, okay? You don't want mushy noodles in this pasta. You almost want it, you know, a little undercooked on your noodles. So while we are waiting on that water to boil, I'm gonna get the rest of the ingredients together. This pasta salad, we can eat it when it's hot, when I get it all put together, but I really like it better cold. It's delicious in the refrigerator to just pull it out, and we'll eat on this for days. It's great with a burger, just anywhere you would like a cold pasta salad. Again, it's a Greek pasta salad. Let's make the dressing for it. I've got mayo, blue plate, 6 tablespoons of mayo. 4. Get my fingers all in it. We're the only ones gonna be eating this. If I were serving this to people, I wouldn't be putting my hands in it. But it's just gonna be me and Joel, so it's all good. Have to be careful when you're filming, because people will think, oh gosh, I don't wanna eat April's food. She's touched all over it. I do not when I'm serving people. Okay, 6 tablespoons of mayo, good extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna put a 1/2 cup in there. Again, we're making the dressing to toss the noodles in, and all the veggies we're about to put in there. You can half this if you don't want to make 16 ounces. That's a lot of noodles. But like I say, we're going to eat on this for days. This morning, I was spending some time in the Word, and I started thinking about, okay, I'm going to just be honest. I overthink things. It is just who I am. It's one of my things that I struggle with, is just my mind constantly. It never turns off. And I know somebody's listening to me and you have the same issue. And if I'm idle and not busy, then it's worse. So, but what happens is I find myself thinking about things and rolling over in my mind, and they're not even important. In the grand scheme of things, they are just not important. And the more I think and the more I become idle, the bigger the problems get. It becomes a problem that really should have never even been in my mind. And I was reminded of when we do that, we are not resting in God's promises and God's comfort. I'm not looking to Him for answers. Thinking about it and trying to come up with a way to feel settled in my own spirit is what I'm doing, instead of relying on Christ. I was reminded of the 23rd Psalms, where He says He makes us to lie down in green pastures. He leads us beside the quiet, still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness. So that to me is just a fresh reminder of, let God be God. Rest in His presence and not always try to figure it out. It's really not up to us, is it? I tend to have to remind myself of that pretty often. And today was one of those days. All right, let's get back in. Joel is at band practice, and we're just throwing together a little supper, and I wanted to show you something good, and I dug through my recipe book today and stumbled on this one, and I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I think they'll like it. So this is, oh, let me tell you what we got. I'm just putting things in this bowl, not even telling you. Cavender's Greek seasoning. Love this stuff. It's great on French fries. I want 4 tablespoons. Yeah, that's a lot. Was that 3? I think so. Can always rewind the tape and see. So that is what is making up the dressing. I'm just whisking that all together, and I'm gonna toss it to the side and get all the veggies together that's gonna go in this. I'm gonna dice up 3 green onions. Oh, let's get our noodles. I break mine in half. I'm gonna put this whole 16-ounce box in the water and let it boil. And I'm gonna set my timer because for 7 or 8 minutes. And because I'll get busy and forget and they'll get too done. Okay, drop these in the water. My light bulb went out on my stove. I have to, it's kind of dark over here. And I always salt my water, and I put some olive oil in there. It just helps things not to stick together. Chop up these green onions. I'm gonna have to get me another cutting board. This one has gotten uneven. I bought a black one, but it scoots all over the counter. Woo. Maybe Tucker won't like that green onion I just dropped on the floor. Tucker's our little Shih Tzu, and bless his heart, he's about 13, and he's getting blind. It's just so sad. It's a sweet little dog. It's been part of our family for a while. Okay, I'm just gonna put the veggies all right in that. And next, I'm gonna chop up a whole bell pepper. I've got that bell pepper diced up. I diced up pretty small. Again, if you like big chunks, that is fine too. This is the bigger can of black olives. I'm gonna drain that. And this is a perfect spot right here by my garbage and my sink. So I've got sliced black olives, not the chopped ones. You want it a little chunky. And then I have a jar of diced pimentos that I'm gonna put in. This is that bigger jar. Let's see how many ounces that is. 4 ounces. Got those noodles done and they are drained. And I actually ran some cold water over it because I wanted to not only stop them from cooking. Hot noodles sit in a pan for a while, they'll just get mushy. So I ran some cold water over it, and also because I like this cold and I want to eat it tonight. So I didn't want to start with hot noodles. You can put your hot noodles in here and then refrigerate it for hours, but I'm impatient. So what I do, I've got all of that dressing and the veggies and olives, pimentos all mixed in, and I have found that it blends better if I mix a little noodles at a time. I have made the mistake of just dumping all this 16 ounces of noodles in here, and you just can't hardly toss it. I'm gonna grill some fish for dinner tonight to go with it. So just toss it really good and get it all coated. So before you serve it, make sure you toss it good because that dressing and all the good stuff is gonna settle to the bottom of your pan. I want you to try this. Think you will love it. I will see you next time. I might make some blueberry biscuits for breakfast in the morning. We'll see.